So it's nearly the end of 2017 and the first year for the Nintendo Switch has been pretty successful up to this point. We've had some big titles released from Nintendo themselves as first party titles such as Zelda Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, followed by some third party big hitters such as Skyrim, Doom, LA Noire, Rocket League and Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. So that leads into the question, what are we going to get going into 2018 on the Nintendo Switch? Okay, so obviously some games have already been announced for 2018, like there's a new Yoshi game, a new Kirby game coming to the console as Nintendo first party titles. There's definitely a lot of games that are in the works for the Nintendo Switch that have not been announced yet, which has led to the rumour mill being at large in terms of what could potentially come to the console. Speaking of which, 3 massive titles have been sort of rumoured to be coming to the Nintendo Switch next year, one of which will be a huge positive for Nintendo fans that are, I think, going to love the announcement of this game if it does actually come true. So on Reddit, one user has speculated that Mother 3, Soulcalibur 6 and Hearthstone are all going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch in 2018. Now, it's easy to say, oh well, this is just from some random Reddit user, and yeah, that's fair enough. However, this guy has got track record. He actually predicted that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will be joining Injustice 2, and that has recently been announced, so it proved him correct. So on to the main news of this article then, Mother 3, which is a game that many people have wanted to play in the West for some time, having only been previously released in Japan, originally in 2003, and then of course on the Wii U Virtual Console, again only in Japan. But it is said to be localized and playable, but has just been held back for the time being. This could potentially be because obviously Virtual Console is not out yet on the Switch, and they're going to be bringing an online system that allows you to play classic games from the NES and SNES, and whatever ties that system in with maybe the Virtual Console system they're going to put on the Switch. Maybe they're linked together, they want to release it all together, and that's why we haven't really seen any of the classic Nintendo games on the Switch yet through Virtual Console as we would have done with the Wii and Wii U and 3DS in the past. So I think they just might be waiting for releasing whatever type of Virtual Console they're going to release in order to release Mother 3, and that might be the sort of lead title they lead with, or here's Virtual Console and here's a game that we know millions of you want to play because you've not really had the opportunity before other than emulation. Soulcalibur 6 is a game that is heavily rumoured to be coming to the PlayStation 4 and PC, and they are speculating as well the Nintendo Switch will get a version, and this could potentially be announced in the PSX event later this year. However, the Switch version might be announced later on in a Nintendo Direct in January, potentially. That's when it's being tipped to sort of be announced. Nintendo does like to sort of announce these sort of games as like their own sort of, with their own sort of marketing mean through Nintendo Direct, which they have more control over and they know their audience is watching. And it sort of shows that they are getting the third-party publishers on board as well. So if they can just say, this new fighting game is Soulcalibur 6, obviously, it's been a few years since the last installment in the franchise, so it'll be a good sort of win if Nintendo can get this one on the system. It's going to be like dumbed down compared to the PlayStation and PC version, of course, but a fighting game running on the Switch shouldn't be too difficult even if the graphics are less. And yeah, more games on the Switch with third party is always successful, and it does seem that third party big hitters are selling quite well on the system, so let's hope this trend continues. On a side note to this Direct that could potentially be taking place in January, it is also rumoured that Metroid Prime 4 may feature in that conference to some extent. So let's hope that we get news on an announced date or release date for that game. I would argue it's going to be 2019, but if it's 2018, I'm not going to complain about that either. Go back to the Virtual Console service that Nintendo might announce then. The service they are maybe potentially working on, and why there's been such a delay with Virtual Console to this point, is that it's rumoured that they're going to sort of offer a Virtual Console streaming service, maybe a bit like the service Xbox provides with their games, their older games, the Xbox 360 games, etc., that you pay a monthly fee and that you can stream those games whenever you want. I can't remember the name of it currently. Or like a gaming version of Netflix that, obviously with the older games, you'll be able to play them on a Nintendo Switch. Added to that, the rumours of GameCube releases on the Switch Virtual Console. Now, they did mention before they might have done these on the Wii U, that sort of went a bit quiet, so people are expecting the GameCube to be added to the lineup of Virtual Console. And finally, some other news. Apps are reportedly nearly ready to be used on Nintendo Switch, so the likes of Netflix, YouTube, BBC iPlayer and Amazon Prime are not far off being there for launch. Obviously, Hulu has been launched recently in America, meaning that apps are available on some stretches of the Nintendo Switch eShop. Going into Europe, of course, though there's nothing there of that content yet, but it's nice to hear that these sort of apps are sort of close to being completed, and hopefully Nintendo will approve them soon enough so the general consumer can start streaming Netflix on the go. Let me know what you think about this Nintendo news then. Are you excited for the potential release of Mother 3 on the Nintendo Switch? Do you think it's going to be linked to the service of Virtual Console they're going to be launching? And what do you think that service might be? And what else do you think about the stuff I've talked about today in this video? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch news.